All right, thanks, Steve. Yeah, like you said, I'm going to be just taking you for a quick test drive around the new DSS Builder templates that are going to be rolling out across the region here by the end of the month. We really had to take a look at the current version that you all are using and redevelop it going forward because it was gaining some interest beyond Central Region, and it really wasn't made for that. And in the process, we ended up teaming up with Western Region, who was trying to develop a similar tool. And I believe throughout that collaboration, we've really produced an enhanced tool that I think you all are going to like. So I'm not going to be able to get into every feature here just due to the sake of time, but I'll show you the key points. So for those of you that are going to be tasked with taking this out of the box and setting it up, there's been a big change from the previous version in that you no longer have to go into the script editor to do much of anything. All of your briefing settings are configured and saved through a GUI that we've populated. So you come in here, you select your office ID, it'll populate some metadata for you, and then you select your backup offices, what states you have responsibility for. And then on the left here, there's also some other areas where you can do some configuration on different tools and components that are available to you in this new version. So I'll start off by, I'm just going through here the add content selection at the top. First big change is going to be how you access your slide bundles, or what we now also have called slide singles. So many of you are aware that we are moving weather story operations out of PowerPoint over to DSS Builder with this new release. Slide singles is where your weather story templates are going to be stored. So like the name would say, you load in a single slide, it drops it into your presentation for you. It's different from a bundle in that a bundle will wipe out your entire slide deck and repopulate with all the slides from your saved bundle. So let's say, for example, you're in here and I want to load up a weather story template. You just come to slide singles and hit open, and it's going to load a new window for you that emulates as if you were to go to File, Open from Drive. So then here is your slides files that contain your weather story templates. And for an example here, I'll just select one from Des Moines here for multi-day outlooks. You hit select, and a thumbnail grid is going to populate. And what it's doing is it's going into your presentation and it's quickly making an image of each slide within your presentation. And then you select from the grid which one you want, and it'll drop it into the presentation for you. And it'll load 9 slides per tab down here at the bottom so that you can move through. So that way, if you have 10 pages worth of slides, but you only want something that's on the first page, it's only going to load 9 for you. So then you're not having to sit and wait for everything to load. So you select the one that you want, and it'll load for you, and it'll drop it in to your DSS Builder presentation for you. If you have any images in there that are linked to a URL, those will update automatically when you drop it into the slide. So here you go, just for us, just a pretty straightforward graphic. Also for bundles, they're loaded very similarly. You go to slide bundles and open, you'll get another, we call it a file picker window that's going to populate, and then you select your bundle and you hit select, and it'll load it into the presentation for you here. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do that in this demo. But of note, we also have regional bundles that are easily accessible here. These have been set up through the Central Region DSS team that you can use as an example to help set up bundles at your office for different hazard types. So I believe in here we've got severe weather, heat, winter. There's a Pathfinder bundle, since the new DSS Builder is set up to be extensible for state level briefings. So it's a good reference for you that you can load in, edit it to meet what you're doing locally at your office, and then resave it as a local bundle. Continuing down through add content, text stencils, again, very similar to the bundles and the singles. It's going to load a file picker window, and you can select any stencil that we have in here. This is a repository that we're looking to expand, but we do want to make consistent with our current styles and themes. So if you have any ideas, don't hesitate to submit a feature request, and we'll see if we can't get it added in here for you. So it's pretty straightforward. You select the text stencil that you want, hit select, and it's going to load it into the slide. Safety graphics, those have now changed to merge with infographics. And again, very similar. You select the infographic category that you want, and then it's going to load all the graphics here. You select one and it'll drop into the slide. And this is another area where we are looking to grow and get some consistency on here. So if this is something you're interested in helping in or you want to contribute to, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. All right, moving on. One of the really big changes to the new templates is with the sidebar. So in the current central region version, the issue with the sidebar is when you load it, it loads up everything all at once, which is nice when you're navigating it because everything loads instantaneously, but it takes a while to load. And so as we were looking to expand, that just wasn't tenable. We needed a new solution. So the new sidebar, when you load it, it looks really empty because it's going to load and unload components as you go. And the sidebar is only going to be used for adding content for your slide. We have a new window that's going to be used for actual dissemination, and I'll show you that here at the end. So for the sidebar, you choose a content type, and here's all the different options that you have. We have some new stuff in here. One of the benefits of merging with Western Region is they had already built in the ability to use the full wave directly from within Google Slides. So we've ported that over here into this new version. So all you have to do is select an area, and this is set up in your briefing configuration. So I have an Iowa zoom set up, then I can come in, select whatever model I want. So let's just run with the HER here. Then I want temperature, and boom, here's all my graphics here hourly out of the HER for today. And you can add these to your slides. Let's just right click on it, and I would like to add it to my slide on the right side. So then it'll take a second, it'll drop it into the slide for you. I think where the wave has real use here is, especially for like webinars or something like that, we'll be plugging in the ability to create a GIF, and animate a GIF out of whatever images you select, so that if you want to show just radar loop, something model drive reflectivity, you can go right into here, right out of the wave, load it in and show it in a webinar. I mean, obviously we'll be able to send it as a weather story or DSS packet just due to file type limitations, but that'd be a good use for it. Moving on, we have other stuff available in here. We have AHIPS hydrographs. So you select, what river basin you want, and it'll load the hydrograph. You drop it right into your slide. You do have excessive rainfall outlooks in here. On that same note, you've got SPC, severe, and fire, and we do know that SPC soon here is going to be coming out with fire weather outlooks to match what they provide for their severe weather outlooks, so be on the lookout for that coming here in the near future. We do have external applications embedded in here, so Forecast Sampler, some of you may be familiar with the awesome application that Jonathan Wolf has created up at Duluth. So that'll load in here for you so you can interact with it. We're working on the sizing right now, so it'll look better by the time the full rollout comes. But you can create any chart or table right here and just hit add to DSS Builder, and it'll throw it into this queue here on the right-hand side, and you can make as many as you want. You hit save, and now they're in the sidebar, and you can throw them right into any slide that you want. We'll be looking to onboard more external applications as we go, but we got to thank you, Jonathan, for kind of being our guinea pig here and seeing how that would work with embedding directly into Google Slides. Other stuff that we have in here, Office custom content. So that is where all of your Graphy DSS images are going to drop. I don't have any in here right now. But let's say you create anything through Graphy DSS, whether it be the batch scripts or you manually create something and you send it to CMS through rsync, or if you create images through DSS Template Builder, whether it be directly in GFE or through the remote option, those will all populate in here. And we have scripts that'll parse it down to only show what you've created, say, in the last 24 hours. Other stuff here of note in the sidebar, you have satellite. You can choose both static image and animated. For what you would like. So if you want to throw that into a webinar or into a static briefing, you have that option as well. So for the sake of time, I can't show you everything. There's quite a bit more in here that you can look at and throw into your slides. So whenever these roll out, highly suggest that you just take a second, see what's all at your disposal. So when it comes time to creating a briefing, you're not having to really look around too much to see where stuff is located, that you know right where to go. So lastly here, I'll go into the dissemination piece. Like I said, weather story dissemination is now being roped into DSS Builder. So it'll all be done through the revamped GUI called the Web Content Manager. So let me close out of the sidebar here so it's not a distraction. So the Web Content Manager is going to load, and right out the get-go, you're going to get what's called the dashboard, and it's just an overview of everything that you currently have up on the web. So here in Des Moines right now, we have 2 weather stories that are actively going, and it tells you when you posted it, when it expires, and it tries to give you some sort of graphical representation of how much time you have left. So if it's about to expire, it'll turn yellow. If it's imminent, it turns red. And this updates every 5 minutes. If you are waiting for something to post and you want to know, hey, is it up there yet? And you don't want to wait for the full time, you can just click this button down here with a timer on it, and it'll reload the dashboard for you. So at upper right, you have some options to navigate. You have DSS Packet, Twitter, and Weather Story. So these be your different dissemination options. If you click on DSS Packet, this is the window that you're going to get, and it'll instruct you to start new to begin a new packet. So you go up to Actions and hit Start New. So this is something that has changed, is the timestamps. The timestamps no longer update automatically. You do have options to update it at any point from within the top menu bar. But in the Web Content Manager, anytime you choose to start new, whether it be a DSS packet or a weather story, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to update your timestamps to current? Go ahead and hit yes. You'll see the timestamps automatically update. And also with DSS packets, it goes through and it tries to detect what slides you've skipped, so it won't include them in your PDF once you create it. So you see here the slides that are in green are active, gray is skipped. If you say, hey, I don't want slide 5 actually, you can always come in, hit skip slide, then hit update, and it'll change for you. So now you know what's being sent. You have time inputs where start or expire online, and then some other cursory options like pinging your chat room, stuff like that. And then you put in a short description and hit publish, and off to CMS it goes. Weather story, big change here. You have to think of everything as I'm working with 5 tabs at once, not the legacy PowerPoint methodology where you're doing with 1 tab. So you open up the GUI, do 1 tab, send. Open up the GUI, do 1 tab, send. In this instance, you can work with all 5 at once. So let's say I want to send this graphic that I loaded earlier as tab 2. I can select tab 2, go up to Actions, hit Start New. Don't have a timestamp on this graphic, so I'm not going to worry about that when it asks me. And you'll see it populate as a thumbnail here, and then you can go through your options. You enter in a title, a narrative, alt text. There'll be some guidance coming out from Central Region on that with the rollout, but we're going to make a push to be 508 compliant here with our graphics going forward. You set your start and end times, and then you also have the option here to send to chat, or if you want to send it to Twitter, you can toggle that on and off, and that will send your graphic with the text to Twitter as well. And the big change here is you can now go through and save as many tabs as you want. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to run through it here, but I could save tab 2, tab 3, tab 4. That's saved. I can close out of the Web Content Manager and come back later if I want to make some more changes. Then when I'm done, I hit publish, and that's going to send all the saved tabs to the web at the same time. So it should save you quite a bit of time in the long run and provide a little bit more flexibility in that you can stage these ready to go for the web at any point and then just publish whenever you're done and ready. And lastly, so I'll wrap up here, you have the option to send just directly to Twitter. So this is separate from sending to Weather Story, but this goes through the severe weather impact graphics feed that we have here in Central Region. So all you have to do is hit add slide. It'll get the slide as an image. You can select as many, well, up to 4 slides. You just have to append some alt text each slide, put in some text and hit tweet, and it'll go directly to your office's Twitter account. So I apologize, for the sake of time, I wasn't able to show you everything there, but I think I hit on a lot of the key points. So with that, I will open it up for any questions.